Learning to live in harmony with the sage and the willows, the Native Americans mastered survival skills that a prehistoric Nevada demanded. A familiar sound can be heard along the highest ridges, for the bands of free-roaming sheep are coming home.
Is this where the magic happens?
This is where the magic happens.
The invitation still exists to find the beautiful view. Among the peaks, the mountains whisper invitations to join them. The trip to the desert takes a while, but the anticipation for this day shortens the drive. These structures still serve a valuable purpose, providing a window into Nevada's past.
I'm Jack Sutton. Thanks for joining us. The comedian W.C. Fields famously said, "Never work with children or animals. They always steal the show." I love working with kids, and especially animals. They add a perspective to the stories like no other. Over the next half hour, we'll meet some remarkable animals like Pepper the potbelly pig and Wyoming, the blind horse, and more incredible Nevadans like Irish Tom, the transplanted San Francisco hippie, and film historian Chris Langley, and others who wanted to share their story.
Come on, Pepper, let's go for a walk.
Morning has come to the Comstock. The day calls forth two companions out for a walk. Their adventures await.
We walk around so we can stay fit, so I get less pot belly and he gets less pot belly. This is a rescue pig. He's been here for about 7 years now. I've had him for about 6. He's a very good friend. Everybody up here loves him.
Apple for him?
Yep. I got on his harness, get his bag of treats, and there we go.
Pepper doesn't say a lot on these outings, but the tale speaks volumes.
They usually say you don't see that every day. And I tell them I do. I can't legally call him a seeing eye pig. I'm actually half blind. I can't legally call him a seeing eye pig because he'd sell me out for a piece of popcorn in the road. He just dragged me out there to get it. But people tend to go around me, so that's good. But he's a very good boy. He gets me up and walking, which is the important thing. And he loves meeting people, and he loves meeting babies. He absolutely loves babies.
Pepper! He's the center of attention, an ambassador for the town.
I've met people from around the world coming to visit Pepper, meeting all the people from around the world. I've met people from Beijing to Frankfurt, Germany. And I've gotten emails back from the people with pictures of Pepper. Come here, Pepper. Let's go.
Remember the excitement felt the first time you saw a wild animal up close. That's how Briley McCubbins feels every day when she goes to work.
We have sanctuary principles, so we're rescuing animals that could be not released back into the wild, they've had injuries, they were held illegally as pets, and we also have species ambassadors here. Species ambassadors are things like our cheetah or our jaguar that are here to promote the conservation of the species, give you a chance to connect and see that wildlife. Ariel, is Katniss in her mew?
No, she is with me in food prep on her ring perch.
So I'm an animal keeper here, and I also help with our social media and outreach programs. So as an animal keeper, that's most of my day. I'm spent taking care of and working in animal husbandry with all of the creatures that we have here on site.
Keeping the animals safe and healthy, Riley's perfect at that. She also has a special skill. She can talk to the animals.
Hey, Poppy! Poppy!
If you can judge the heart of a person by their treatment of these animals, Briley's heart, like all the animal keepers here, must be huge.
I used to come out to Animal Ark when I was a little girl. I fostered my love for wildlife. I've always had outdoor jobs or working with a variety of different animals. So Animal Ark has really become a home, and it's a great place for me to live out my passions and get to share them with the public.
Jennifer Coos and her friend Tracy have come to 6 Mile Canyon to enjoy this fall day. They brought along some other buddies. You wouldn't know it without a close inspection, but this one, a 26-year-old horse named Wyoming, is pretty special.
He's totally blind. He has something called uveitis, and Appaloosas tend to get it. And some people call it moon blindness. Their eyes turn blue, and they lose a lot of their vision. Well, on top of that, he also got glaucoma. Used him for calf penning, A lot of mountain riding. That's mostly what I do is mountain riding. You pick a mountain, we go down it.
Now, I've never seen a white horse with spots before.
He's a leopard appy.
He's a leopard appy.
Yeah. And a leopard appy is where they have spots all over their body. And he's also a roan, which means the roaning that goes up his skin. It's a lot of trust between the two of us and a lot of communication. When I hit ditches and hills, I have to tell him up, down, and let him know what kind of terrain we're on, because he's my best buddy. I've had him for a long time, and we have a great relationship. And I'm not going to let him sit in a stall and wither away.
The light in Wyoming's eye may be dim, but the glow in his spirit burns bright. The warmth of love, fueled by kindness and respect.
He just doesn't stop going. He just goes and goes, and he loves it. And I love riding him because he loves doing what I like doing.
The phenomenon happens every year about this time. Turkey vultures return to the Diamond Range, their presence seen in the evening sky above Eureka.
Well, there's some great tall trees in town for them to roost in, so they're safe there. And, you know, we have agriculture around, so they have plenty of feed. And it's just a nice place for them to hang out. You often find them roosting in large groups, easily 20 birds together.
The birds are very social. Before roosting, they play tag and follow the leader. Then, guided by the pecking order, select their evening roost, sleeping in the safety of numbers.
Well, they're not great flyers. They have a really large wingspan, but they are designed for gliding, and that's why you'll see them way up high catching the thermals, you know, just gliding along. Well, they're nature's cleanup crew. They do what nobody else wants to do, and I mean, they have this bad rap, but they're really well designed for cleaning.
They're nature's perfect design for an important function, helping to rid the countryside of dead animals that spread disease. Their stomach acids kill dangerous toxins, even cholera, anthrax, and rabies.
And yeah, they're just designed to soar up there, and they have a great sense of smell, so they can soar and glide slowly, and they should be appreciated. You know, they're pretty majestic.
Winter has retreated to the highest peaks to make room for spring in the valley, and springtime means that babies have arrived.
We are in the lambing season. We start maybe 1 month ago, and little by little we are having more babies every day. You can listen the nice sounds around. No, it's the babies calling the mummies and the mummies calling the babies.
Herdsmen bring newborns and their moms to the nursery to make sure lambs are healthy and mom and baby have time for bonding.
If the baby is weak, the babies will stay 2, 3, or 4 days. But if they are ready, they maybe will stay only 1 day.
A lamb's job is to eat and sleep and eat and sleep, and in a few days go outside to play lamb games.
We are around 4,500 sheep. And with the babies, we will have maybe 2,500 more.
Their path is glistening. Wilderness and exploration lie ahead. You can follow along, not with your eyes, but with your heart.
My profession is help me to have love for the animals. Here is a beautiful quality, genetic quality of animals. They are beautiful animals.
Another day has begun for Lee and Jesse on their journey to cross America.
My horse, Jesse, is a Suffolk Punch. There's debate about what the numbers are, but according to from the association, there's about 1,500 of them in the world. I've been across the United States 4 times. This is my 5th time. I've gone all by horse and wagon. No truck, no car, just horse and wagon. Back. Oh. I started on August 9, 2006, and I will drive until I can no longer do it. My world revolves around the horse, if you want to understand how close I am with my horse.
With a pioneering spirit, this trip's full of wonder and adventure, a tribute to courage and fearless choices.
You got the lines. You're going to tell them some of what to do through the lines. You're going to tell some of it through voice command. And some of it, you think it and he picks it up. That's just the way horses are. You know, they pick up what you're thinking eventually, if you're really connected to them.
Mile after mile, the goal of a continental crossing draws closer. Their destiny awaits.
Most of the time, I can go cruising down the road. He'll stay to the left of the fog line. He'll keep going indefinitely until I tell him to hoe. He just knows his job. That's his job, is to keep going.
The joy of being with a horse is that it brings you in contact with something rare, the essential gift of grace and beauty.
So here at Paravesa Stables, I run a horsemanship academy and a training program. Well, you gotta have horses, and you gotta have a barn, and you gotta have a place to ride them. So this is Boomtown. He's been one of our longer residents here. He's been with me for a good number of years now, maybe 5 or 6, and is owned by one of the kids. So what we do, we teach the kids from the ground up how to safely catch their horse, handle their horse, take care of their horse. We have a full horsemanship academy, so they work their way through our curriculum, learning everything they need to do to safely use all of the equipment, safely handle the horse, ride the horse, which is a whole lot harder than most people think. So we're coaching them not only how to ride, but also how to communicate with their horse, who of course is all body language and nonverbal cues. So they're learning how to communicate in ways outside of the normal realm, learning how to ride correctly, find their balance. Some of them compete in dressage, some of them jump, some just really enjoy coming out once a week and spending time with the horse.
In the eyes of youth, the horse is the best thing that ever happened. They are soulmates. Horse and rider become one.
I was born as a horse-crazy little girl. It never really left me. I'm super lucky to wake up every day and get to follow my dreams. And of course, you can't forget the love of the animal and the bond that you can kind of create with them.
The beauty of the Silver State alone makes for wonderful stories, but it's those Nevada characters that bring you to places never seen before. When folks like these invite us to share in their lives, it's fun to tag along.
When you think of the history of the American West, one image stands above every other: the picture of a cowboy, his horse, and the open range. You'll find Nevada's working cowboy much the same today as in the Old West. But time, outside pressures, and modern financial climates threaten to change a way of life.
The price of cattle now compared to what they were in 10 years ago is not as good. In order to make as much money as now as we did 10 years ago, our calves should be worth about 85 or 90 cents a pound, and right now they're worth about 65.
The number of cattle on Nevada's lands today stand at the lowest since the early 1970s, and the price of that beef the same as the late 1960s. But the modern world cannot change the reason men work with cows.
Well, it's always been fun. It's fun to cowboy. It's more fun when you can make a little money at it, though.
To be honest with you, I've got to say, yeah, it's more than a way of making a living. It's the only way I know, so I can't talk for all other occupations, but I believe looking at the way things are going nowadays, that it's the best way to bring up a family. It's a good, honest, hard-working life. It's got a lot of romance to it if you look for it.
Go get
Not vaccinated.
For ranching in the 1980s to not only survive, but to flourish, this industry must run as a profitable business. Tomorrow we'll visit with a young Nevada ranching family to find the hopes, aspirations, and promises for the future. You can approach the Tyobes from Reese River to the west, climb into the range, and here, sitting along Highway 50, in the geographic center of Nevada, you find Austin, a town of about 200 folks living in one of Nevada's most isolated spots. You measure most days here by the quiet and the solitude, but once a year the population triples as the great bike race comes to the mountains.
We get to cut down.
They were saying they're blasting down and then go this direction down to the bike shop. You know, you guys have got this kind of steep hill, and there's another steep hill coming up this side. When if you're walking, walk to the right. This is the annual Acclaimed Jumpers Mountain Bike Festival. See, we're designed to try and bring people up here to Austin to use this as a recreational site. So I've been putting these mountain bike races on, get people introduced to the great trails up here in Austin. We got two here from Austin, me and one other guy. Otherwise, most of them are from either Reno, Tahoe, Las Vegas, Sacramento, Chico, Elko, Winnemucca, all your rural Nevada towns. The bicycle trail is something that allows a person to get away from the general public, get a little bit of technical single track, some nice downhill descents, and enjoy the scenery of the mountains, maybe see an occasional deer, run into some wildlife.
With muscle and determination, pedals and tires, to compete in the race, to experience the day, and enjoy what has always attracted folks to the mountain.
You're secluded from everything and everybody. You've got, if you like nature, this is the place to be. You don't have many amenities out here of any kind. Just nature, that's the biggest thing, the beauty of nature.
On a windy slope, unknown to public view, at the end of a muddy road just past that slippery bend, you'll find a cabin, the home of a hermit named Irish Tom.
It must have been 50 years ago. My wife and I found this place in 1964. Liked this place, but there's nothing here then. Yeah, it's worked out real good for me and my dog. But now, Bob Holtzway up here, he's the foreman watching everybody do what they're doing. And we just want to settle down and relax here.
Once living in the lowlands, Irish chose the mountains and found his home, and brought with him a collection of memorabilia from his younger days in San Francisco in the 60s.
Irish, I want to ask you about this right here. It says sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Is that your motto for life?
That's it, yeah. And this is where I ended up at my old age. Tried to survive, trying to get by, trying to heal right now. I was very involved in that scene. And I got all kinds of those things around here. When I get this place situated away, it'll be like a museum in here.
Irish says he never tires looking at the mountains and the clouds that float by. He's not alone. He's got Bob the dog, and those posters, and his memories.
And yeah, I'm old. I just want to live peacefully the rest of my life.
Reporting from the cabin on the side of the mountain. This land has produced legends, people that touched lives. Their influence crosses time. Raymond Hoffer knows this and can repeat their stories.
This is my home, has been my home for my whole life. This is the Walker River Reservation. It's 500 square miles. A lot of people now have started to come back to the reservation because of things that are happening in the outside world. You know, our population is expanding, and at the same time we're trying to protect our environment, our water, our land.
One very special person lived here. His spirit still moves amongst native peoples.
His name was Wovoka, and he was raised mainly in the Mason Valley, traveled back and forth here. During an eclipse, he had revelations that this world will soon be coming to an end in the new millennium. And so he said the Creator gave him a dance to do that would protect the people and, you know, bring the world back into balance and harmony.
The people of the Walker River say the greatest respect comes when legends are kept alive, a responsibility accepted and cherished.
Respect for each other, respect for nature, respect for their elders. That's the main thing that I would like the world to know.
The spirits have lived here since the beginning, and the Native Americans almost as long, but time has kept the two apart, a story that Mike Williams will change, for he has come home to a place he has never seen before, but a place that has always lived in his heart.
There was water out there at one time, and you could see where the vegetation, the growing of it looks like there might be a section of tules out there, and there's some willows. Basically, what our tribes used, the Paiutes, is they lived off of the tule, the cattail plant, and basically those two plants, they used the tule, the cattail for food, and then the tules they made their traditional decoy ducks out of, which they used for their hunting waterfowl.
Mike's visit to the Lovelock Cave brings out the gift of inspiration, of a culture surviving, helping his talent to preserve a part of the ancient skills, the most famous of which, creating the tule decoys, first made here thousands of years ago.
There's a lot of history, there's a lot of knowledge to the ducks, that there's a lot that these young ones can learn and pick up the way the tribes lived in this area.
Long before folks gathered in front of televisions, even before going to the movies, you could still find the visual arts as played by the puppet, an object given life and personality from the imagination of man.
They're paper mache and fabric. The heads are probably the key to most of them. They're just hollow necks, and this is a hard hat character I've been developing. And what we do is we make a clay model exactly the way we want it. Originally I did do all hand puppets, and then in working with them, the people that I'm working with, my sister and my wife and a friend, we decided that it was difficult to take them on and off in what we were doing because it was a complicated show. So we changed them to stick and rod puppets.
Oh, Your Majesty! But the plot, that's not really important. The gestures and the movements of the puppets and the ageless appreciation reflected in curious faces, that's important. In the shadow of the Sierra, in the Owens Valley, lay the rocks, solid aggregates of minerals weathered by wind and blowing sand, the same rocks that Hollywood discovered in the 1920s.
And it is granite that has slid into the valley off of the Sierra crest hundreds of thousands of years ago. And it has been eroded and shaped by exfoliation, which is the heating and the cooling of the rocks. There was a Keystone director who bought a place here, and he talked to Fatty Arbuckle about it, and they came up to actually film Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle's first feature.
One of the things Chris likes to do when he comes out is he brings these pictures. He shows them to people and asks them, can you figure out where this was shot? Now, where was this one shot, Chris?
Well, you can see this, Jack. It's right over there.
From the thrilling days of yesteryear, silent pictures to Technicolor, the hills have provided a backdrop for 150 movies.
Yes, and we have promoted ourselves as a movie site, a movie historical site, so you can stand where John Wayne stood, and you can stand where the Lone Ranger stood. And a lot of people who are attracted here know those names.
The filmmakers were right. The Alabamas make an iconic image, perfectly representing the American West.
It's quieter, it's peaceful. Also, it's more beautiful than almost anywhere else I've been.
To find evidence of ancient life, look amongst the exposed rocks, like those in the slides on Carbon Ridge.
This is Secret Canyon. Oh, we're gonna look for fossils today. Most of the fossils you find in the state of Nevada are ocean-like animals. This is Secret Canyon shale. These are probably bivalves. Another type of shell, but a little different than the brachipod.
Marine life died and settled on ocean floors over thousands of millenniums. Upthrusting of the earth moved the fossils to the mountaintops.
People come to me anyways, and they're like, "What's this, Caleb?" And I'm like, I tell them.
Caleb's knowledge of the rocks and their secrets comes from his love of the natural world.
This right here is Indian wheatgrass, and the Indians used to take it and make pancake-like stuff out of the seeds.
Evidence of life on Earth from 400 million years ago adorn a simple rock. But to the rockhound, these little finds are real treasures.
Rock hounding is a lot of fun.
Morning at Prosser brings calm winds, clear skies, and warm weather, ideal for flying a hot air balloon.
We're going to play with the balloons, hot air balloons today. Now we got to put out tarps to protect the envelope and then lay out the envelope and hook it up to the basket and then cold inflate it so we can get air into it.
Today, Margaret Kulak and Rochelle Marquez are going on an epic adventure.
I got a nice crew with me today. Oh, we always like to let them know what to expect and be safe. We get it cold inflated, and then we'll put some heat to it when it's fully inflated, and we'll stand it up, just get it off the ground and have a good time up there.
Balloons float as if by magic and drift with the whims of the wind.
Well, all I control is up and down, so I have to find an elevation that's going the direction that I want to go. Oh, it's fun to enjoy the people's reactions that are flying with this. They really enjoy it, and I get up there and the view is spectacular. There's nothing like it.
An ancient Irish invocation describes this journey. The winds have welcomed you with softness. The sun blessed you with its warm hands. You have flown so high and so well that God has joined you in your laughter and sets you gently back into the loving arms of Mother Earth.
There's nothing like it.
Everybody has a story. We'll get back out to the Nevada Backroads and bring you more remarkable Nevadans with a great story to tell. And you can continue watching these stories right here on 2 News Nevada and on our website, 2news.com. From all of us here at 2 News Nevada, thanks for watching.
Now in the old days, back before the Lincoln Highway here, you had to take the train if you wanted to come out west, if you wanted to come out to Nevada.
What's the secret to staying warm? Is it the beard?
The beard and I guess good underclothes.